It's the headline is from insurancenewsnet.com is LGBTQ plus and life insurance. Is it a matter of trust? Steve Wood wrote this article, and I wanted to share some of it with you. Steve Wood is a consumer markets researcher, so he says he's constantly seeking insights into different demographics. And he says that's the easy part, but the hard part is trying to sort of distill those findings into digestible chunks without diminishing any of the unique needs of the market in question. LGBTQ plus community, definitely a unique market here that needs to be paid attention to. So a Gallup poll recently found that an increasing number of younger adults are identifying as part of the LGBTQ plus community. 2024 Insurance Barometer study surveyed 454 LGBTQ plus Americans between the ages of 18 and 75 to gain insights into the attitudes and behaviors regarding various aspects of life insurance shopping, knowledge, and products. And to learn how to best reach and be successful with this growing market, this article says, look at some key differences around financial concerns. This is sort of what I was alluding to a little bit earlier. Retirement preparedness and perceptions of key interactions through life insurance purchase process. That is something that's also covered here. So the LGBTQ plus survey sample mirrors the Gallup poll's findings. So it's important to compare the findings to younger adults. When compared to all Americans, that is, LGBTQ plus people express significantly greater financial concerns, particularly retirement and emergency funding. He says it's compelling to note that LGBTQ plus individuals tend to show greater concern than Gen Z and millennials as a whole. So having enough money for a comfortable retirement has been a top concern of all demographics for 14 years that the barometer study's been around. But 4 of the other 5 specified in the figure are generally all related to emergency funding. So we got retirement and we've got emergency funding here as well. So 40% of LGBTQ plus folks report owning life insurance. That lags behind the combined Gen Z and millennial group at 46%. And that's 5 points below all Americans at 51%. The data don't tell us why these heightened concerns exist for LGBTQ plus people, but we can make some inferences here, he says. Because of these other numbers, LGBTQ plus people in greater numbers say that they are either extremely or very concerned about these things. Having enough money for a comfortable retirement, being able to save enough for an emergency fund, being able to support myself if I'm unable to work due to a disabling illness or injury, paying for medical expenses in case of illness or injury, paying for long-term care services if I become unable to take care of myself, job security, and maintaining a steady income. That one is way above other communities that have been broken down here. So it can't be solely explained by household income levels, he says. There are no marked differences between the populations. There are some underlying socioeconomic issues at play here, he says. Universal acceptance of the LGBTQ plus community has not been achieved across the country, and that may be fostering the creation of personal networks of safety nets. Fewer LGBTQ plus adults are married, even fewer have children. This affects life insurance ownership rates as well as financial security. More LGBTQ plus adults are also flying solo financially as a result, and therefore they have elevated levels of financial concern. Boy, that really speaks to the reasons that I wanted to start this podcast. I mean, it really, really does. So how can the concerns be addressed? Well, he jokingly says, buy life insurance, purchase an annuity, but if only it were that easy for the industry as a whole. He says reality doesn't work so simply. Purchasing many types of life insurance products can be very confusing and a very personal experience. So basically, the lesson of the day here from this is to build trust with people. And you want to work with someone that you trust when you're talking about your life insurance, when you're talking about a retirement income, when you're talking about planning for retirement specifically, all of those things. Trust is a huge factor, or at least it plays a significant role, according to these numbers, according to this article. LGBTQ plus adults do not feel discriminated against with regards to applications and underwriting, as sexual orientation is not a part of that process. But incomes, age, race, and ethnicity were ruled out as contributing factors to the whole thing, the whole concept here that we're looking at of LGBTQ plus people being more concerned about retirement and emergency saving. But the LGBTQ plus community is twice as likely to mistrust both insurance companies and financial professionals as compared to the general population. Again, goes back to the fact that's why I wanted to start this podcast, to start providing education and help for the LGBTQ plus community specifically. I am a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and I want to help because I know exactly what these concerns are. I have lived them, and I have learned how to help them. And I want to share that knowledge with you. That's why I do this show. And that is why I, do what I do in my everyday life as a financial advisor as well. I want to help you. And I really want to help you individually. I want to help you by coming up with a plan for your retirement based on your specific needs. That's what it's all about. That's the reason that I got into this, was to help people plan for their retirements, specifically the LGBTQ plus community. And if you want to learn more, folks, once again, go to takeprideinretirement.com. Takeprideinretirement.com can do a deep dive into your finances, fill out the risk profile questionnaire, or just fill out the contact page and set up an appointment. I'll be glad to meet with you anytime that we can work it out, either via Zoom or in my office if you're in the Atlanta metro area.